Hello, my name's Emma Anscombe-Skirrow and I'm the Head of Centre and Programme Lead here at University Centre Sparsholt, and I'm going to be showing you around the campus today. So let's make a start with the staff offices. So welcome to the main admin building. So we've got 4 staff offices here. This is my office, and then we've got an IQA office and then 2 lecturing team offices as well. So we've got the IQA office just here, and then the first of the 2 staff offices, we've got 3 staff in this one and 3 staff over here as well. Right, just next to the offices we have another sort of breakout room that we can use. So this is a meeting or conference room, and we can use it for students as well if we need to do some more small group or one-to-one sessions as well. So just next to our offices we've got the HE study support team. So we've got 2 offices in this part of the building with staff who provide additional support for any students who declare any sort of dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia and need support throughout their time here at University Centre Sparsholt. So this is student services, so this is where the students can come to with any kind of non-academic help. So anything from counselling to student finance, admissions, transport, everything is in one sort of central hub area. Just behind us is the main cafeteria area and Starbucks. So we have a few food outlets here at the college, so this is the main one, and we'll pass some of the other ones shortly as well. Okay, so in this sort of central part of the campus, we've got quite a few of the other food outlets. So we've got MJ's, which is fast food, and Fit Gyms, which is sort of the bar area. We've also got one of the blocks of accommodation here, which is the catered accommodation, and just behind it is the new sports centre, and students can use the gym there if they wish whilst they're staying on site. Just down this way we've got more accommodation, which we'll head to now, which is the self-catering accommodation. So here we've got some of the self-catering accommodation, which is for our higher education students. They also have the option of staying in Winchester we have another block of accommodation at Winchester University. There's also a huge car park, so students can park for free on site, so there's plenty of space for them to travel in if they're coming in from home as well. So here we are at the Sainsbury building, and this is the main teaching block where most of the HE classrooms are, and this is also where all the labs, or 3 of the labs are, that we use for our lab sort of analytical and diagnostic techniques module as well. So this is one of the 3 labs that we've got, so we do spend quite a bit of time here, and if we need to we can open it up into have a bigger space as well. So we do all sorts of things from bacteriology, urinalysis, fecal analysis, blood analysis, ELISA testing, PCR and electrophoresis are some of the few things that we do as part of that module. So here's one of the higher education classrooms. So we have a range of different size classrooms, so we can have some smaller groups or bigger groups if we need to. We can open it up into twice the size of this with the flexible sort of walls. And we also have a few lecture theatres, which we'll show you as part of this tour as well. So this is our HE Study Centre. So this is an area that is purely for higher education students to go to. There's 24-hour access, so they can access it with their ID cards. And in here there's a computer area, there's a sort of a lounge area, and there's also sort of some breakout rooms which they can use if they want to do some sort of individual or small group work as well. So one of the great things about the campus is the location and the sort of the views and the beautiful surroundings. So the students are free to access it and take walks. So we've got, for example, this area here. We've got a sort of ancient woodland and deer pen, and we've also got the gallops and a lake. So the students can, especially if they're living on site, can use the campus and enjoy the surroundings whenever they choose. Follow me, I'll take you to the library. Right, so this is the library, and the HE students have a fob, or are given a fob if they want to have one, which gives them 24-hour access, so they can access it any day, any time, and there's a self-service book checkout system as well if they want to take anything from the library when there's no librarians on site. The librarians are really helpful in that if there's any books or resources that the students can't find, they will order them in. And we also have the facilities at the University of Portsmouth, which the students can access as well. So we have the University of Portsmouth librarians visit us at the start of the academic year and introduce the facilities to those students as well. So in the library we've got a huge number of textbooks which the librarians are really good at keeping up to date, and we've also got an IT zone, so some IT access if they need it, and a quiet study area which can be used for group work if it's pre-booked, so they can use it for that as well. So here we have the IT block. So we have a huge number of IT rooms available here, ranging from the biggest one has around 50 computers, and we have smaller sort of 10 to 15 computer size rooms as well. So students can use these. We use these as well for the data analysis modules, and any students who require computers for assessments. We have some secure computer rooms which are used specifically for exams as well. We've also got the Create Hub and the Visual area, which is used for sort of development of IT resources and teaching skills for staff as well. So this is the main sort of transport hub. So this is where all the coaches come in and also the buses. We have transport coming from all over the county, and students can use that either through the college or the sort of stagecoach, which is just the local bus service as well, which comes throughout the day very regularly from Winchester onto campus. We're just going to head down the hill now to the wet labs and the aquatic centre. So this is the wet lab. So this is where we spend quite a little bit of time in the first year especially doing dissections to support the functional anatomy module. So we usually, because we have a working farm on site and we've got a gamekeeping unit on site, we do get a lot of specimens that we can use for dissections to help with all sort of aspects of anatomy. So we do piglet dissections, we also do hearts and eyes, and we also then in the third year, when we can, we'll do post-mortems depending on what we have available to us as well. So we do spend quite a bit of time on here, in here with the students. So this is the Aquatic Research and Conservation Centre. So as vet nurses, we don't spend a huge amount of time here, but we have some really fantastic staff specialising in marine and fisheries as part of the team, and they provide a practical session for our vet nurses specifically around anaesthesia, so the different types of anaesthesia, and they do fish health checks as part of that as well. So just to provide something a little bit different, and the students really enjoy spending a little bit of time here as well. So we have a large fleet of minibuses which allow us to take students out on trips when we can to all sorts of facilities. So we go to RVC to look at the diagnostic imaging and the hospital there. We take them to Fitzpatrick's and Southern Counties, to pet crematoriums, just to provide sort of that more variety, so it's not just sat in a classroom, but they are always linked to modules. So for example, the pet crematorium, we take them in relation to principles of vet nursing when we talk about grief and supporting clients through that process as well. Right, we're now at the Animal Management Centre, which is just in the final stages of £2.5 million of funding being used to produce new facilities and teaching areas and to house a huge range of species. So we've got all sorts of things from reptile rooms, we've got a range of birds, we've got companion animals, dogs, cats, we've got small mammals, and we've also got some more exotic zoo species. So we've got a huge range of animals that students can be involved in, either sort of volunteering for sort of keeping purposes, but also some handling as well. So we're just going to move on to the to show you one of the lecture theatres. So we've got some of the reptile rooms just over here as well. And this is one of the lecture theatres that I mentioned earlier. So this is the main one that we use for vet nursing students. And as you can see, we've got some new equipment, which was installed in last summer, which allows us to provide both face-to-face teaching and online streaming of live lessons and recording lessons all at the same time. So that no students are disadvantaged if they cannot attend in person. So we've just come out of the Animal Management Centre and we've moved to the Vet Nursing Centre. So this is sort of the main hub of the degree course at University Centre Sparsholt. So we have the new veterinary nursing facilities, which has recently been renovated and doubled in size. So come on in and I'll show you around the building. So here we've got the reception area, which is also part of the teaching area, so we can sort of get students practicing for time on reception and developing their communication skills. But we've also got an IT area over here which the students can use if they need to whilst they're using the building as well. So through here we've got the consult rooms, so it can be used as one large teaching area for a consult room, or it can be split into two smaller consult rooms depending on what tasks we're doing. So this room has a range of equipment that you might use in a normal veterinary nurse consult, for example, so stethoscopes and thermometers and so on. And we can also bring animals in, so if we have staff dogs, for example, or some of the cats that we have on site, we can handle in here as well. So we've got tables and we have rubber matting that we can use for handling as well. So we'll just go through to the kennel area. So this room is set up as a kennel area, and we've also got things like bandaging and feeding tubes, for example, that we might use in this room to undertake simulated cases in tube feeding, for example. So in here, this is our diagnostic imaging suite. So we have a range of X-ray tubes that are decommissioned, but we can still use the light source, for example. And we've got some ultrasound machines, and this is quite a nice space to allow students to see the positioning required, but have some space to move about as well. So this is the prep room area. So we've got anaesthetic machines and circuits, and we've also got various different surgical instruments and so on that we might use for practical, for teaching the packaging of instruments, for example, and instrument identification. And through here we've got a lab room, so we can undertake some of the more simple diagnostic techniques that we use, so urinalysis, fecal analysis and blood analysis when we're not in the main labs. So we've then got a scrub area, so students can practice their scrub techniques and gowning and gloving, and this then leads through to the theatre, which has little equipment in, but that is how we would expect to see it in practice. So we've got a main table with some anaesthetic circuits and lights, which hopefully mimics what they would see in the veterinary practice as well. So the last thing I'm going to show you is the new veterinary nursing classroom. So the last part of the new Veterinary Nursing Centre is the new classroom that is specifically for veterinary nursing students. We have also got a large store cupboard in here which houses all the models. We're still waiting for some of the models to arrive because we've ordered some new ones. But they will be in here so they can be used in the teaching delivery as well. This is sort of going to be the main classroom for the smaller groups when we do sort of small group teaching. So that brings us to the end of the campus tour. This is just a small part of a 450-acre site. So hopefully it's given you insight into what the students have access to, what feeds into their overall experience as a student here on site as part of the foundation degree in veterinary nursing science with the University Centre Sparsholt. Please do not hesitate to ask any questions. Thank you very much for your time.